So I'll tell you my story. I believe in being truthful and transparent. I'm not one of those people who are going to talk to you like third party, and very disconnected. No, because this is real life for me, right? I moved to Houston July 3rd, 2022. Before I moved to Houston, I had prophecy. I had conversation from God. I got permission from God to move to Houston and everything else. And I thought that Houston was my promised land. Okay. But my vision of a promised land, that everything was going to be easy. I literally thought, and you could not tell me, and I always tell people this and they always laugh. And I'm like, yeah, go ahead and laugh. Because now I have to laugh at it too, now that I'm on the other side. But there was a lot of pain and tears when I was really beholden to what I'm about to say. I really thought that I was going to be like the Queen of Zamunda, and it was going to roll out the red carpet and the flowers was going to be flowing and everything else. And like, oh, Darnita is here, right? And I thought that I was going to walk in finally after all the tears that I had shed in North Carolina, after all the blood, all the sweat, all the problems, all the transition and transformation that I had gone through, getting deeper in God and everything else. I thought, y'all, that this was going to be my time and it was going to be easy. And it was just going to be like, oh, bam, bam. Bam, all my dreams, hopes, and prayers are coming through and true. And it was just like, I was going, like Bishop Jakes talks about, it was going to be open window in heaven that I won't have room enough to receive. Let me tell you. And I was ready to go. And I walked up in here like, yes, because I know it's about to happen. Everything's about to pop and blah, 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 blah. And then month after month after month, after month after month, I was like, I'm not seeking the red carpet and the rose petals, but I'm still staying encouraged because I'm like, yeah, God is gonna make it easy. And then it hits me about 8 months after living here, like, this hasn't necessarily been easy at all, but you're still in a good place, so everything must be okay. And then I had my 1 year anniversary. And then I had it was close to my 1 year anniversary. And I hired a business coach. And this person I know personally. We used to work together. We both lived in Detroit. And we used to work together previously. She moved to Houston years before I moved. And I was like, okay, well, she's going to be my business coach and all these things are going to happen. I thought I was just going to get this download and it was going to be, sometimes you feel that tingling in your scalp and everything else. And it's just like magical, right? And she did what she did and she gave me the blueprint and everything else. And I was like, okay, Lord, okay, we're going to do this. And in the middle of doing that, that's when I discovered all my fears, right? And I knew some of my fears before, but the biggest fear, it was two. My one overriding fear was I didn't have a blueprint. I was the Harriet Tubman of this situation. Nobody told me how to do this. And I felt like because I did not have a blueprint of how it's supposed to go, that I was so afraid of all the what ifs, right? Now, I don't know about y'all, but in my head, I was like, well, if, right? And there's an old saying that we used to say, and I'm from Detroit, so I don't know what y'all say, but we say, if was a fifth, we all be drunk, right? And so right now, it's just like, I was ifing it out, okay? So I was like, oh my goodness. The second one was I did not realize that I was searching for the permission from one particular person in my life for them just to tell me it's okay for you to be successful. Now, listen, you're talking to a therapist who works with people doing this every day, right? Who can point out this stuff. You start talking to me and I'm already picking up like do. I am picking up what you are dropping. Okay. But for my own life, that was one of those things where I probably should have a neck brace because it shook me so bad. Those two things, right? And in that, it was just like, that was the wall that I kept hitting, the fear wall, the fear wall, right? And I know they come talking about, there's a acronym for fear. I love acronyms, right? And so fear is false evidence appearing real. And we know that, right? But then I was talking to somebody, she used to actually be my social media manager, and she gave it a different one. Facing every anxiety righteously. And I was just like, okay, Danielle said that. And it sounds amazing. But how do I apply that in my little old life over here? Someone who is fearful, but also a little hard-headed, a lot of stubborn. You see the recipe that's happening here? Okay. And one of the things was I had to just move. And one day, because don't think that it was just one day right after I had that meeting with my business manager. Don't think it was just one day after getting the remembrance and the epiphany about the new acronym for fear. Don't think it was just one day. It was months later where I took one step in fear. Then I took 2 steps in fear. Then I paused a little. Then I had to come back and be like, okay, Lord, what's the 3rd step in fear? And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm one of these old people who just be like, oh, well, you can't have faith and fear at the same time. Because my thing is, have you read the Bible? Because you can definitely have faith and fear at the same time, but it's the faith that's got to outweigh the fear that's going to move you into the path that you're supposed to be doing. And so I tell people now that I do practically everything scared. There's many things that God has given me the confidence, and I'm just like, oh, wholeheartedly, I hold it down. Boom, 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 boom. Right? I'll say it. These are the things. This is the step. Oh, I knew God did it right there because he had it for me. Okay. But then on the other side too, like doing all this promotion for the book, doing these videos and talking and everything else. I am not a shy person in front of the camera. If you give me a microphone, I could probably talk the paint off a wall. Let's be very clear. I'm probably on the extreme side of extrovertism. And it's hard pressed for me to meet a stranger unless there's something about that person and I'm like, I need to steer clear. Then I listen wholeheartedly and move away. Like, they used to say, step away from the vehicle. I step away from the vehicle. But doing these things are a fearful thing for me too, because I'm not a big fan of social media. Yes, I'm sitting over here doing these videos, but sometimes I be very honest and tell you some of the things that people do on social media absolutely makes no sense to me. Just for click, just for bait, just for likes, just for follows, right? I believe in being genuine and authentic, transparent and truthful. And sometimes it comes across to me as facetious and fake. And I just cringe sometimes. So doing things like this is a fear factor and is very uncomfortable to me. But these are some of the things that I have to do to promote the book. Also reach people who, may be in the same kind of mindset as me. And they're like, well, I want somebody who like keep it real and be like, they ain't gonna sit over here. Yeah, I wear makeup for the camera, but believe me, you catch me out in these streets, you gonna see me in a good old t-shirt and some shorts sometimes, or some leggings, or just how I'm feeling that day. So it could be some baggy jeans with ripped up, or I could have a dress on because it's the summertime and I love a good dress in the summertime. Well, let's just say I love it when it's hot, period. And living in Texas, it's just hot. Okay. So you can catch me in a dress anytime. Okay. But I say all that to say, I believe in being myself and really creating a space with people to just get it all out. Because many of us are just searching for a space to be heard, a space to be acknowledged and validated. Now, I'm not talking about validating no foolishness. Let's be real clear, okay? Because like, if you out here and you thinking that everything, that somebody owes you everything and you should just, not have to work for it, I can't validate that. That's a good dream state. I'll tell you that. That's a great dream state, but that's a false reality. And if you continue to live there, God bless you. I don't know how far you're going to get, but it's your right. It's your choice. But what I am saying is we're searching for a place to feel seen, right? And that's what God gives us all the time. And so sometimes in the in-between too, We're searching, we're delving deep, we're trying to figure it out. And we just feel like, okay, I just want to collapse on the side of the road. Somebody gonna come up and scrape me away and I'll just be done. Or other times it's just like, well, why don't somebody just come in here and swoop in and do it? Like, you know, Black Panther or Captain America. They don't exist. That's why you have Marvel TV movies. Okay. Watch them, but come back to the real world and realize, okay, that was a great respite, but I got to get back on it. But also go to those deep places and those caverns and crevices that we have within ourselves. We try to pack away and hide information, right? Or experiences, feelings, thoughts, all those things, right? Explore them. It's okay to explore them. Because while you're searching for somebody else to do all those things we're talking about, like acknowledging, validating, seeing, right? The thing is, if you continue to try to erase yourself by acting like you don't have feelings, erasing yourself by not asserting your voice and your viewpoint, erasing yourself by trying to just blend into this wall. This is paint for a reason. It's not a person. All right. And it's so blue, it's really sticking out. So it's actually still being seen anyway. Right. That's what happens. But one of these things you have to do is actually give it to yourself. So once you give it to yourself, you see yourself, you validate yourself, you acknowledge yourself, and you face yourself, you're understanding then what it's like when somebody else is trying to give it to you. Because when you don't have the experience of receivership, then you're actually self-sabotaging, because when somebody actually can't give it to you, you don't know what it's like. So therefore, you might be pushing it away. You might be doubting it. You might be sabotaging it. You might be completely rejecting it. And then you go cry those tears to God and say, I wish I had. And he's like, I gave it to you at 3 p.m. today. And you said no. Or you complained about it and everything else, and you tore that person down when they was doing exactly what I sent them to do based upon what you keep crying and asking me about. So therefore, you rejected that and you rejected me. Sit with that for a minute. Because we always think that the people in the Bible rejected Jesus. If we really think about ourselves, we reject him a lot. That just made me cringe. Because I'm in my mind thinking about like, oh my goodness, I remember that time too. But that's why we have got to open ourselves, broaden our perspective, stretch our faith, get to know God's voice. So we don't no longer reject it. We be like, okay, it's you. Welcome. Come on in. Come on in. Would you like some tea? Would you listen? Just go ahead and take a nap because I'm about to wear you out. So we can actually be on that road. So when you confront and face your fears and you spend some time with them sometimes and just really understand what it is all about, dig deeper. As a licensed marriage and family therapist, we are looking at systems, right? And a system is every relationship you've had. And so when we're talking about different emotions, we're talking about fear, right? You have to look at your relationship with fear. Where did it come from? How did you develop it? How did it take over? How did you conquer it? All those things keep you while you're doing the work and the preparation and everything in the in-between.